Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. This is Dr. Lester Woods, convener of the Source Summit. Want to welcome you to our broadcast on this awesome and amazing day. I'm not going to be by myself. I'm going to go ahead and bring our co-convener of the Source Summit in, Mr. DeAndre Thompson. How you doing, sir?
Doing well, sir. How about yourself?
I am I am doing good. I am doing good, man. What a heavy. Sometimes you don't think about that question until you can really reflect upon how good things are, you know?
Right.
Uh so you're doing good, having a good week though.
Yeah. The week is going by. I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving holiday. We'll be here in Columbia this year, but still looking forward to just being able to relax and enjoy time of reprieve and just enjoying Thanksgiving. So looking forward to it.
That's what's up, man. I'm really excited about the holiday myself. And I'm especially excited about the holiday since we have concluded the November 2025 Source Summit.
Yeah.
What a work, huh?
Yeah. It was but we got through it. Seen a lot of great synergy and connectivity and a lot of great work and energy put into the this year's summit. So I'm really excited about moving forward going into 2026. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah. So am I. So am I. I wanted to pop on tonight. Again, welcome everybody. This is Dr. Lester Woods, convener of the Source Summit. Again, I got the co-convener, Mr. DeAndre Thompson, with us on tonight. We just wanted to spend a little time tonight. By the way, share us with those in your network. We have people joining us tonight from Facebook, people joining us tonight, of course, just on YouTube. I want to invite you to look at the scroll down at the bottom. If you desire to donate to the Source Summit, we're a nonprofit organization convening communities for social and economic change. So we're always looking for resources to help do that work. We're on Instagram, we're on X, as well as, you see us now here on YouTube and Facebook. So we just concluded the 2025 November Source Summit. And as DeAndre and I were just speaking, it was absolutely amazing. And I just wanted to pop on, Dre, have you on as well, get your thoughts about how you think things went. Of course, people are joining us here on Facebook and YouTube. People's um, making some comments in the chat. Good to have you all on tonight. Share, share, share. And then also just really wanted to spend some time just saying thank you. Thank
Mhm.
you, thank you, thank you. Why don't I just start that out just for a second with the thank yous? There's a number of groups of people that we surely should show appreciation for. And I want to just first off start with appreciating our volunteer leaders. I mean, we have a group of creative, ingenious, thought provoking, challenging in a good way at time um, leaders who have been with us now for a number of years. And they really press us, they really get the work done. Sometimes not just behind the scenes, but on the stage. And I just wanted to spend a minute thanking our volunteer leaders. And then, of course, we have a group of volunteers who actually did, you know, the hustle and bustle, the grind on site for, we say 3 days, Thursday, of course, Friday and Saturday, but really we started working with the volunteers at least a month or so in advance. Of course, we have people who went out and knocked on doors, put pamphlets and flyers out in businesses downtown. Just amazing, hardcore labor work stuff. And then, of course, before we get through the evening, we got to spend a little time thanking our sponsors because although we're volunteering, none of the financial resources of the work could be done without our sponsors. Um, and then, I really want to make this over the next few months, DeAndre, if you will, a time that we actually might bring some of our panelists on live and hold some interviews and that type of thing. But we'll definitely mention some of those tonight, especially the actual panels. I think it's important for us to raise up and just appreciate the panelists on those panels, and just kind of conclude with what we hope to look forward to for 2026. So with that being said, again, let me start with you, DeAndre. Thank you as the Mr. Co-convener of the Source Summit. You have been with me through this process since 2018, I guess I could say. And so, you know, let me just thank you. Thank you, man. I've seen you and have known you since you were a college student.
Mhm.
You've come up through working in government, of course, working in nonprofit, working in government. And then, of course, now you're working still not in county government, but city government.
Mhm.
Um, Man, I could just interview you within itself. We'll do that at some point too. But let me just say thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. No, it's a pleasure, and it's great to have great leaders and those that you can look up to and follow in their footsteps. And I appreciate you for mentoring me and taking me under your wing to allow me to learn and glean just from all the amazing things that you do in this community, and also just being a family man, being a husband, a father. It's a lot to appreciate and adore, just watching your walk. And I just appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to learn and to grow and be molded into what I'm becoming today, which is a leader myself. So definitely thank you for sure.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, man. This is a teamwork. I always say teamwork makes the dream work. So we all working. So thank you. I appreciate that. We'll have some of our other volunteer leaders on throughout the year as well, so we can hear their voice. But of course, then working along with you and I would be also Brittany Hildebrand, who's been an amazing leader, helping us on the socials, in the marketing, in the branding department, if you will. So, uh, Brittany, we want to recognize her. I also want to highlight Mr. Miles Gibson, just a guru of multiplicity of different things as well, but definitely helping us lead out in registration. Um, and of course, he's noted and known for Mr. First Last Mile actually for the last couple years. So Miles is just a creative in his own right, and definitely appreciate him for working with us on the summit here this year too. Let me just go right down the line and appreciate, of course, Shannon Wilson, um, creative thought leader, definitely helped us up front with the partnering agreement that we actually signed with leaders in the community. So that was great.
Mhm.
Um, and then we have Whitley. You know, Whitley's amazing because she was actually also a part of the 2018 launch that we had for, developing the whole. It wasn't the Source Summit then, it was my dissertation work. So, Whitley Walker, appreciate her. She came in as our Chief Operations Officer here more recently,
Mhm.
and definitely took the reins in, I think, conference planning, I guess I would say. So we definitely appreciate Whitley. And then working right alongside of her in regards to conference planning and on site um, beautification, we got to mention Larisha Jones. So we definitely appreciate Larisha. Um, and then working along with both of them, especially on site with some of the registration stuff, we got Lisa McBride and then Rachel Harris. Those two,
Mhm.
wow, those two, they just stepped up into a completely different arena this year.
Mhm.
Um, any thoughts about any of those that we mentioned so far?
And I mean, all of them did an amazing job. I mean, thanks to Larisha for just the aesthetic, for sure. Everything that those of you who attended the summit knew how well laid out everything was, how organized everything was. Definitely shout out to Larisha for her hard work of making sure everything was coordinated. Um,
Yeah.
Site. And thanks to Scott too, who was a part of Compass Church, for making
Thank you.
all our audio was together, and him and Marcus Taylor worked
Yes.
back to make sure our audio and all of our visuals played well throughout the whole conference. So appreciate them for sure. On top of all the names you listed, you know, Brittany, Rachel, Lisa, Whitley, you know, it definitely takes a whole team effort to allow something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, and please jump right in because I see people putting in the chat people's names. So we appreciate you all. Hold us accountable. We don't want to miss nobody.
Right.
And of course, if we miss somebody, charge it to our head, not our heart. Speaking of that, let's transition because I actually have a photo. We have some amazing photos. We're going to post probably tomorrow for those of y'all who might not know. We had a young lady named Sable. No, not Sable. Sailor. Had a young lady named Sailor Campbell who did our videography. Man, bright, brilliant young lady in journalism school, I think, at the university.
Yep.
Um, so we're going to post a video that she put together that packaged very neatly and nicely. Just kind of giving an overview on what happened throughout those 3 days. But we also captured some photos. Let me see if I can do this right quick and put up for us because we won't might not be able to name everyone. But here's a snapshot of our volunteers that we definitely want to recognize as well. We talked about our volunteer leaders earlier, but these are just some of the volunteers who showed up on site and really, really helped us. We got Kima in there, we got Kevin in there, Marvin is hiding in the back, Ray, Leslie, Lewis, Michelle Lee, um, I call them, they're sisters. They're not twins. I want to call them twins, but Mother Mabel, Mother Caney. I mean, you mentioned Pastor Taylor, Marcus Taylor in the back there. And of course, our DJ in the back. We're going to talk about him in just a minute, too. But we just want to recognize all of our volunteers as well. Christine, my wife, is in there, too. Any comments there, Dre?
Yeah, no, it was definitely a great opportunity to have all those present. I think I see Tasha back there, uh,
Yes.
Miles Stanton,
Yes. Miles Staton. Yes.
like yeah, we had quite a few folks. Darlena Walton, I believe, is in there.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Kingley. So yeah, we really had an amazing team. We really couldn't have done it without all those who were willing to give of their time, helping us coordinate again, making sure people felt welcome. You know, all of our greeters, the folks who met people at the doors, made sure they signed up properly. I think I didn't see Cheryl Cheeto. I know she was helping us, and Chiquita helped us with the registration table as well. There's a lot of folks behind the scenes who really made this conference come together very well. So definitely appreciate them.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you for bringing up all of those there as well. I was trying to find something. Let me see if I can do this right quick. I actually have an amazing thing that you might actually laugh off. You might actually laugh off of this. So look, I want to give everybody a round of applause. I'm gonna have some fun this year. I'm telling you. We giving everybody a round of applause. So, for our volunteer leaders, for all of our volunteers, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, the Source Summit 2025. Our theme and our thought was we kind of stole it from last year, kind of continuing this thought of community is currency, or the way I like to say it actually is. They said we like the sound effects. Okay, thank you, Morgan. I see you. Um, Community is the new currency. I think community is the new currency. Uh,
Mhm.
And I say that, and I love that because the whole thought and the strategy and the structure for the Source Summit Global is really about bringing people together to collaborate, to partner, and to work together to fill in the gaps in our community where people might be falling through the
Mhm.
gaps, if you will, from education, from business development, from life skill support, soft skill support, just helping people get to another level of quality of life for their own personal success. And just to be accomplished, I feel like when you know that you are productive and you're living your life to the fullest,
Mhm.
you have less potential of depression,
Yeah.
less potential of failure, if you will, and you have greater potential of being happy and feeling well mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all those things. So that's what the Source Summit is about. It's not trying to duplicate anything that anyone else is doing. It's actually about highlighting and bringing up to the next level of information and our sharing of information so that we all, each person in our community, have an opportunity to know who's who and who's doing what so we can support, encourage, and be a part of what everybody's doing. So, how you feel? What's your thoughts on any of those?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think that with community being the new currency, those social networks and that social capital is something that, you want to see continue to flourish and continue to make inroads for people, because that's how we see upward mobility for a lot of those who are trying to gain access into new opportunities, is through that social capital, through that community connectivity. And so I think that what the Source Summit is able to do by bringing people from different backgrounds, being organizations, bringing nonprofits and faith-based leaders all together in the same space, is creating that atmosphere where exchange can happen and where bridges can be built so that people can come across to move into the best and brightest for themselves and their families. So I think that this was another great and excellent opportunity for us to expose that. And I know that people were truly edified and uplifted because of just the environment that was created.
Yeah, I love it. Let's talk just a little bit about who was who were there, and the type of topics that we talked about. Just a little bit. We got about 3 4 more minutes, so um, I want to kind of keep it to a space where people can keep tuned in throughout the duration of the broadcast tonight. But we will. I guarantee you all are probably going to get tired of us this year because we gonna be on the live. This is how we gonna be moving this year because we got a whole lot we need to prepare people for next year. So I'm excited about it. Um, Thursday night, we had just kind of a meet and greet. We had a ton of vendors. Let's talk just a little bit about our vendors. I want to thank Northwestern Mutual. I think I saw John on earlier. So, John, thank you so much for your support. Of course, Youth Empowerment Collective, that's Larisha. Appreciate you. Of course, Equip Her Movement, that's Larisha. And you can't do a whole lot without Love Columbia. So we surely appreciate Jane Williams and Job Point. They were in the house, of course, City of Columbia. So our vendors, and we have a few other sponsors that we'll talk about here. We actually have um, a sponsor slide that we're going to put on here before we leave tonight. So if we miss anybody, we'll make sure we catch them. But of course, then we had a print sponsor, Shelter Insurance. I was so glad to see Miss Stacy there as well. A brand new sponsor this year as well, Rusty Drewing. So we appreciate them for coming on board with us. Um, Friday, I got a little off there, but Friday, we talked a little bit about affordable housing. We talked about public funding, lessons from grassroots organizations funded by the county. And then we had our keynote speaker, Trent Griffin Braff, came in to help us out from New York, talked about his powerful story, going from being a felon to being highlighted on Forbes. Man, anything within those first few sets of panels and our guest speaker you want to highlight?
Yeah, no, definitely appreciative of all those who served on those panels. The affordable housing update was one that was needed, necessary. We have a lot of need in our community with a growing need for housing stock. So different styles of housing to be able to accommodate different economic levels. And so it was great to hear from the panelists on specifically the different types of housing that they're actually supporting. So I know Mark Briley talked a lot about Anderson Homes. Foundation and really the work that they're doing, which is an amazing gesture to really, go into making housing affordable for families that are really in need. So definitely appreciate his update. We had Doug with the Columbia Housing Authority. That was an amazing feat to see that they were able to bring the cost of their housing down as well to be able to, again, meet the needs of the community. And then we also had, again, the other representatives on that panel that served, and Love Columbia has their transitional housing development that they're working on. So again, that was a really powerful panel as well with all those updates because we really need to hear that. And then the grassroots funding. So of course, Boone County Community Services Department and the Children's Services Fund, they took on this endeavor, I believe, last year of creating a specific grassroots funding mechanism to support smaller grassroots organizations, and to be able to, make that available for a lot of these smaller organizations to build capacity to then be able to apply for their general open RFP process is, quite an amazing feat. So to hear from all those that was on the panel, I know that they really appreciate that support from the county, making that specific, funding available. So it was great to hear from them. And then of course Trent was, his story is something that I think a lot of people would not maybe recognize if they saw him anywhere else. They wouldn't recognize that he came from the environment that he came from, or landed in the position that he was in before becoming someone that was recognized by Forbes. But he really did an amazing thing to go from being in prison, in jail for all those years, to coming out and starting his transportation business and being able to expand that into a nonprofit type of program that supports incarcerated individuals who are coming back and integrating back into society. So, it's amazing just to hear stories like that and to see that level of commitment to just helping others. So, I really appreciate him being available and sharing his story.
Yeah, and then he spent time with some of our young people and Miss Spence with the Columbia Public School System. Um, we had our superintendent of Columbia Public Schools there almost the whole day. And just want to appreciate those. And then, of course, I'm gonna come back to the awards here in just a minute. But we actually concluded with a couple other panels. Why don't you talk just for a minute about the community divided, why shared connections are key to the financial well-being. I think I saw John Walter on our chat tonight. So, John, thank you again with Northwestern Mutual and serving on that panel.
Yeah, no, that was a great panel as well, because between John and I think it was Diane or Diana, excuse me if I got that wrong,
Yeah,
but uh,
Deanna,
also we had
Rodney,
Rodney, Rodney Dixon. Yes, we had a really amazing panel. Oh, and
Stephen. Yeah.
yeah, Steven, he did an amazing job. It was just great just to hear from them, just the importance of understanding your finances, understanding the need to make sure that you're properly planning with your finances and some of the things that you should avoid when looking at pitfalls with your finances, and how they all got their various starts, and how their family background even played a role in how they looked at their finances. I know Stephen talked a lot about that when he was kind of relaying some of his background. So
Hmm.
it really does take having the right environment to help kind of cultivate uh, proper money management and consideration of how do you really utilize your funding to help elevate you and set and prepare you for the future. And I think they really did a great job of touching on that. So appreciate John for really stepping in and creating that panel for us to have that discussion. I think that was excellent.
Yeah, quite genius. Really appreciate all of those. And then we had two more panels to round us off for the conclusion of the day. We had career next steps. I'm kind of a workforce guy, so I always like to hear who's hiring, what training, what education they're providing. So we really appreciate Conrad Hake with Love Columbia leading us in that panel, along with Lisa Buxman, two Lisas, and Lisa Driscoll Houseby, and then Nikki Carter with the university. So, any thoughts on that one? And I'll go ahead and jump into the last one that we had too. None other than Miss Annelle Witt leading out in that panel with Daryl Smith and Dr. Jonathan Mosby, as they talked about
Corporate
uh,
responsibility
yeah,
and
corporate responsibility,
yeah.
social responsibility. Yeah, please go ahead, Dre.
So yeah, no, I think with the career next step panel, I appreciate again Conrad and Love Columbia for creating a platform where people who are looking to upskill and kind of move into a career path, they have an avenue of doing that through the Career Next Steps portal, and they have support. They have a coordinator, facilitator that helps them through that process. And I think that that's key when you're trying to figure out how to elevate in your career, move from just, your survival phase of working these jobs that are meant to just maintain, but actually moving into a career.
Mm,
So Career Next Steps was really a great platform for that. So thank you to Conrad for helping facilitate that discussion. And then with the corporate social responsibility discussion with Miss Annelle Witt
yeah.
and Daryl,
Wow.
that was a really good session as well, because I think for me that's one of the areas that I think needs to be truly recognized, is the importance of giving back, and these companies and organizations that operate in our community actually understanding the need and the responsibility of giving back, and being in position to not only just receive from the community and have
Yeah.
patrons or establishments, but really give back and make sure that the community is supported, because that helps with the vitality of all the community. So I think that what was discussed, really kind of highlighted that importance. And Ms. Annelle Witt definitely did an amazing job just facilitating that discussion with Dr. Mosley and Dr. Smith. So really appreciate just their depth of knowledge and ability to kind of reveal that importance to us.
Yeah, amazing. And speaking of social and corporate responsibility, we highlighted two firms throughout the day who actually are major players in corporate social responsibility in the city and abroad as well. So, Veterans United, thank you, Veterans United, as well as being a sponsor. We surely had a chance to highlight veterans, and of course, Eric. Most people know Eric came and accepted that award on their behalf. And then Equipment Share. Amy with Equipment Share had a chance to come out and accept the award on their behalf as well. So we're building some great relationships. We see people doing great things in the community, and we surely want to acknowledge them. You had a couple other awards. I'll talk about the pastors here in just a moment. I saw Scott Claybrook on because we concluded Saturday with a pastors panel.
Mhm.
Talk just a little bit about the other awards that we.
Yeah. So we had an organizational community award that was given out this year. And so what made that special is Last year, we recognized the City of Refuge for their contribution to our immigrant community and our refugee community, in what they've been able to do to kind of serve in that capacity. And so we thought it'd be an amazing job, or amazing opportunity rather, to pay that forward. And so we had the City of Refuge organization actually present this year's recipient, which was the Food Bank of Northeast and Central Missouri. And so Lisa Lopez Young, I believe, received that, or Lindsay, I apologize, Lindsay Lopez Young received that award this year on behalf of the Food Bank of Northeast and Central Missouri. So really appreciate the hard work that the Food Bank is, undertaking, especially in these times. Their work is especially important, especially when we look at the need and look at the SNAP benefit kind of challenge that we were,
Yeah, in the middle of, yeah.
Because of the federal kind of shutdown. And so with them stepping up and feeding so many families throughout our region, it was definitely important to recognize a lot of their hard work. And it's the community that really makes that happen as well, through their contributions to the food bank. But the food bank was mobilized to actually meet that need. So I wanted to appreciate them for their hard work of serving the community as well. And then I know we had one more award recipient for the Individual Community Service Award recipient winner, and that was Marcus Witt, with
Yeah,
James and Witt Foundation. So he's their executive director for their program. And so we definitely wanted to acknowledge him in the hard work that he's
great young man.
to do in his own capacity, and with the foundation that his parents established. And
Yeah,
so great just to honor their family and honor him in the hard work that he's been able to do in the community as well.
that's right. Well, we got to wind this down. I'll just conclude with saying, of course, a little bit about Saturday. As we transition into Saturday, of course, we had a couple other awards that we did on Friday to two other community leaders. Predominantly, they were both pastors. So I surely want to appreciate Apostle Russell Freeman and, of course, Pastor David Ballinger for their lifelong legacy work in the city of Columbia, from just being father giants to other pastors and leaders in the community, long standing, enduring so many trials and tribulations, and still standing,
Yeah.
long standing and still standing, doing the work in our community. So we recognize, as you can tell, people from the young generation and then our elders as well. And we threw in a little bit of corporate responsibility, corporations, and of course, those who are helping us feed the lost, the least, and the left behind in our community too. Which leads us to Saturday. We had a poverty simulator. So I definitely want to appreciate CMCA, the Central Missouri Community Action, Ani,
Ani Flint.
Ani, yeah, Ani, yeah, she did a great job. Honestly, that Saturday probably was one of the most attended Saturdays we've ever had in the last 5 years. And so I think that really struck a nerve. And we're going to spend some time throughout the year diving a little bit deeper into what that looks like in our community and how we can help. And then, of course, finally, on Saturday afternoon, we ended late Saturday morning with a panel of pastors. Wow. We got pastors in the room on a Saturday morning. And they did a great job. Our brother DeMarcus Thomas Brown was our host and facilitator for that. Definitely want to appreciate Pastor Charles Jackson from Fulton, Missouri, Pastor Katina Collin here in Columbia, Missouri, Pastor Adrian Hendricks, the Joshua's house, of course, here in Jefferson City, Missouri, and then Pastor James Schrock, Alpha and Omega, the Hispanic Community Church here, one of the Hispanic community churches here in the community. So they rounded us off with some great discussions. I'm not going to try to go into what all they talked about. I'm going to bring them back on alive so you can hear from them what they talked about.
Yeah.
So listen, 2025 pretty much is a wrap. We've got many, many, many more things to do. If you want to be a part of what we're doing with the Source Summit Global, I want you to go to our website. You'll find a way to sign up. You'll find a way to sign up and join the movement there. We definitely don't want you to be a part of the problem. We want you to be a part of the solution. And so go there, sign up so you can be added to our mailing list, and then you can begin to get the information about our roundtables. Next year, we're going to have way more networking opportunities, and we're going to start way earlier too, talking about the type of sessions it is that we want to have. And I'm so excited because next year, 2026, our sixth annual Source Summit Global will be more global
Mm.
because we're bringing in people not just from our local regional area, but of course, Trent was here. We've had Pastor Corey Brooks from Olive, Illinois. So we've been global, but we're going to go global a little bit more next year. So I'm excited about that. Let me conclude right quick with putting on the screen as well our sponsors. We've got to pay the bills. Let me go there right quick, DeAndre, and put up our sponsor slide. So we surely mentioned this earlier. Our print sponsor, Shelter Insurance, local and community sponsors, Boone County Children's Services Fund, as well as Columbia College. Want to thank our national sponsors, Veterans United Foundation, The Crossing, another new sponsor. Then, of course, we have our regional sponsors, the City of Columbia. Um, and we also appreciate our business sponsors. Um, we have here Rusty Druin, and then, of course, our source partner and friends of SSG sponsors. We've got Woodcrest, we've got Love Columbia, Arise Dwelling. I saw Scott Claybrook on earlier, so thank you, Scott. J. Wilhart LLC, as well as the Theological Education Initiative. So we appreciate all of those, and that one does not have
I think that's
the name on it.
yeah, I think that's the Compass Church Network.
Oh, that's Compass. Yes, yes, yes. You mentioned Compass earlier, so
Yep.
surely, surely, surely. Thank you, Compass, for hosting. Um, I know I'm kind of rushing. I didn't want to be too long. We're probably at a pretty good time to close out. This won't be the last time. This is just one of the first times. And so I'm excited about bringing more live conversation, dialogue, interviews. It's going to be riveting over the next year, 2026. Again, go to the website. It's scrolling across the screen. If you desire to support us financially, the donation way to give there through our Cash App, and we have other ways to give as well. Contact us, get on the mailing list so you can know more about how to be a part of the solution. Any last final words, DeAndre?
No, just want to again just say thank you. Very appreciative of just this environment that we've been able to set here in our community. And as you said, I believe we're expanding the reach. I think we're seeing the reach continue to grow, and look forward to continue to work with all our partners, all those that participated, and let's continue to be a part of the solution. This community is definitely in need and looking for that. So let's continue to work together to be a part of that solution.
Second that. All right, everybody. Have a very, very amazing holiday season. Thanksgiving. We got the end of the year, of course. Christmas is coming up and New Year's. We will see you in the days ahead. Everybody, have a great day. God bless.
You know?
Bye.